Yo.
Yo.
What's going on, man? I can't see you.
Probably can't see me because I'm going live in the middle, right in the middle of going live. I don't know why I can't see you. Probably I turned on my videos for me.
Yeah, I can see your hat a little bit, but you blending in with the earth.
Oh, that's why. Yeah.
Yo. What's going on, man? I can't see you.
I don't know. Maybe you'll see me soon. Probably can't see me because I'm going. All right, we're live, Marv. So I'm just gonna go right into the intro.
Yep, I'm just waiting on you.
Then
go for it.
Yeah, we'll introduce ourselves right after. There's a little bit of delay going on.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Siobhan Smith. I'm Whitney Kelly. I'm Edmund Bellevue. Our seminar is brought to you by www.foundedplayers.org. Please donate at our PayPal link on our website or at our Cash App at #FoundedPlayers24 or Zelle SMI@gmail.com. For your donation, we are offering a 20% discount of your stay at Founded Players Home Away from Home in Columbus Heights, Costa Rica, Jamaica. Treat yourself to a well-deserved vacation with your 20% discount on your stay at our property. Please share our organization and property with your family and friends. Book with us. About us. We are an organization created to teach financial literacy to children and adults. Our seminars will educate people in areas such as managing credit, making investments, buying a home, life insurance. We want to use these financial seminars to educate people who would otherwise not be learning about these crucial topics. This is the home located in Costa Rica, Columbus Heights, your home away from home. A private hillside condo overlooking the beautiful bay and city view. A 2-bedroom furnished apartment with kitchen, living room, and private balcony. Included are great amenities such as a pool, gym, Wi-Fi, and household essentials. The area. Take a few minutes drive to the famous Denver Falls, visit the beach at the bottom of the hill, and experience the casual and fine dining of Jimmy Buffett Margaritaville Restaurant. time and read a few of our testimonials at the bottom of our Airbnb. Book with us. Thank you, everyone, for supporting Founding Players. Faith and hope.
The name of the organization came from 6 founding players of the Savants Academy Stars basketball program. Savants Academy was created to use basketball developing winners on and off the basketball court. These 6 founding players were the foundation of SAS. We want to pay respect to these players as their lives continue after basketball. So what better opportunity than to stay involved in these players' and parents' lives for a lifetime? So we are proud to call the organization Founding Players and to educate others by teaching financial literacy. Big shout out to Coach Chad. Chad used to play for me when I started the program. He's one of our founding players now. He came back, he's coaching. So I'm proud of that. Big free throw. Down 10, I believe.
My path, I didn't.
Well, I think I'm here now. Maybe you can see me, or maybe you still can't see me, but I'm here either way.
Yo, well, welcome. Hope you guys had a good week. Hope you guys have been doing well. We're here for another edition of Founding Players. I'm Marv, and Savant is somewhere around there on the planet Earth. He's orbiting around the Earth here. So what's going on, man? How you been?
I've been pretty good, man. I've been active, and being active is always a good thing. Getting myself back, and I'm proud of that. So up and up and up, man. So I'm happy, definitely happy that things are getting a lot better.
Good stuff, man. Yo, so
investments
say it again. You sound very low.
I said the investments are doing well, so that's a good thing. So I'm out there, I'm out there doing my thing. And the investments are doing well, which is good to know.
That's good, man. Well, listen, I've decided I'm not shaving until the Giants win a game, man. So as you can see, I look rough. I'm not going to shave until the Giants win a game, man. I'm on protest.
I guess you're shaving this year. You won't be shaving this year.
I might not be shaving. I might be looking like a mountain man by the time next season rolls around. But I'm holding out. I'm holding out hope they're gonna win a game. I'm not gonna shave until they win a game.
Okay, well, the only thing they're gonna be shaving is points.
Wow. Anywho, so what we got on deck today?
Well, we have Jaden. Jaden's mom. Sorry, we had Jaden already.
So we did. We did Jaden's interview before.
Scholarships. Yeah, we did Jaden interview before, which we played Jaden already. We'll replay. You know, I plan to break down some of the interviews and replay them. You know, that way we can have like a couple 2 or 3 minute videos breaking down all of our players' interviews. So I plan to do that, you know, in the next 2 weeks or so. If I do it sooner, then you know, I'll put the news out there. But yeah, Jaden's mom, you know, Jaden learned a lot from his mom. And when you see Jaden's mom's interview, it's almost like interviewing Jaden all over again. You know, so they look alike, they speak alike, you know. So it's a blessing, man, to share this interview with our audience. Yeah.
Well, let's get to it then.
Let's get to it. Well, guys, we haven't really been live a lot. I've been sharing my Airbnb in Jamaica, you know, with you guys. I'm sure you guys been seeing a lot of that been running on the page. We're gonna get back to business at hand, you know, in due time, and we will definitely start making our flyers again and giving you guys heads up as far as who we're bringing on and the things that we're going to be doing. You know, we do have some things in the works and don't want to really speak too much on them, you know, but just know that we are about financial literacy and we are going to get to that so you guys can get information as to, you know, how to invest, save, and manage your money. We're going to get there. Okay, sir, got to share the screen again. All right, here we go.
And that's exactly what I'm trying to do. Trying to turn it back. Trying to turn the whole thing back. I've been actually doing a plant-based diet, and I think it's really been working for like my skin and everything.
Yeah. Man, that's too much. I just interviewed Jaden and I'm looking at you right now. I'm like, look at that. You look just well, he look like you.
You look like me, I know. Everybody says that. Everybody says that in a Zoom, because we are on Zooms all the time together. Everybody talks about how much we look alike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a little bit of delay just now. I don't know if it's coming from me or you, but there was a little bit of delay. But yeah, definitely, you guys look alike.
Yeah. My 6-year-old too. My 6-year-old looks just like me too.
Yeah. Wow. They say your gene is strong.
It is. My whole family is like that though.
Yeah.
You can tell my maiden name is Shepherd. You can tell a shepherd anywhere.
Yeah. All right, sounds good. I'm gonna try to sign in from my phone as well because the connection is going in and out. I'm gonna sign in from my phone just in case. Marv, introduce yourself. I got my business partner on the line to let him introduce himself, and then we'll.
Hey, how are you? I'm Marvin.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. Doing well. Just driving, trying to get to my house. So you were at the gym?
No, I'm just getting off work, but but this is the most comfortable thing after you've been at work. So I was.
That's right.
And it's okay.
It's definitely okay. It's fine. We all family here anyway, right?
Yeah.
Oh, look, Savannah and his twin.
I know. I was looking at that when I saw it a minute ago, and I was like, "Wait, that looks like him. What is he doing?"
Yes.
Oh yeah, I got my twin up in the house. I have to back it up because my internet couldn't be acting up, so I just backed it up just now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I'm in space, and then I got the let me put my head to the other side.
And then I see like a stock exchange background or something.
Yeah, you know, because I'm with the stocks. You know, we teaching financial literacy over here, so you know, I got to represent with the stock price behind me.
I gotcha.
But you know, that's a little Man, I'm trying to move. That's a little penny stock though.
Stock price, like you're trading stocks on your organization?
Oh no, not with the organization, for myself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, personally.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Personally for myself and eventually with the organization. Yeah. Gotta let your money grow, you know? Gotta put in that investment.
You do. You do. More of us need to know that.
Oh yeah, that's why we're teaching this financial literacy. So we're glad to be interviewing with you because we want to let people know that founding players, you know, came from Savant's Academy stars, you know, and those were the founding players that started with Savant's Academy stars and opened doors for your son who came after them. You know, so when we interviewed Jaden, we asked him, you know, same question we're gonna ask you, so we'll get into that. But you can get started.
So can you tell me what is like I mean that's a little blurb, but can you tell me like what is Founding Players as an organization?
Okay, so it's the first, well, the name came from the first six players that started the program in Savant's Academy. That opened the door. So that's the players that I started with. And the motto in Savant's Academy was developing winners on and off the basketball court. So I was using basketball to teach them about life. And I wanted them to be winners. I wanted them to have their future planned. So I decided to call this program Founding Players and to teach the financial literacy because I wanted them to know how to invest their money, life insurance, and savings. You know, so Founding Players is basically teaching how to save money, how to invest, and life insurance. And you have to plan for your future as well as your children's future. You know? So that's basically what Founding Players is about.
Gotcha.
And it's foundation first, you know, because anytime you're building, you have to make sure your foundation is strong. So we say foundation first and we build on top of the foundation, make everything else go on top of that strong foundation.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yep. So we're going to get into the interview and we want to thank you for being here. So if you could go ahead and introduce yourself, you know, let everyone know who you are, who you're the parent of.
Well, okay, so my name is Shay, and my son is Jaden Hood, and we were in the academy 2 years, 3 years?
About 3 years.
About 3 years. We were in it, and he was a part of fundraising, and he was a part of playing, and he was traveling. So we were involved in everything from the fundraising to traveling. So I currently work for, I'm not sure how much you want me to explain, but I currently work for Christ Fellowship.
We get into all of that.
I currently work for Christ Fellowship, and I work out in Belgrade, so I work in missions and outreach. So my role is to serve the city of Belgrade by creating programs and care ministries for families and the academic area that is out there. So my job is to oversee that whole territory. And so, I mean, from there, I'm a mom of 3. Jaden is the oldest, he is 17, and I have a 14-year-old Jordan who should be joining probably this year, actually. He was gonna join last year, but then COVID, or not COVID, actually, I think football. And then I have a 6-year-old, all boys, so I'm a boy mom. I've been married for 17 years, and that's pretty much in a nutshell.
Awesome.
Yeah, 1 second. Yes, sorry. Yes. Marv, you had a question?
No, I was just saying awesome, but yeah, sure. So when we interviewed Jaden and he had spoke about how he was just like like this like 3-sport athlete, or he just was like into everything. So being mom, what was kind of your motivation, or you and your husband's motivation for kind of getting him into sports and like keeping him busy?
So that's a dual question with a lot of duality. So first of all, Jaden is an athlete. And when you know Jaden, you just know that. So he went years where he never, he just went from one sport to the next because he kind of never had a break. Like literally maybe a couple weeks in the summer, he would do the cycle of football, then he'd come right out of that and do basketball, then he'd come right out of that and do track, then he'd come right out of that and go back into football. So he was doing all that, and then he started wrestling. But I have a kind of like a fundamental belief that you should put your kids in every single thing they can be a part of, because extracurricular activities, one, I mean, it helps them discover who they are, but it also helps, it takes the village. So it kind of helps parent when you're not around. It keeps them in positive environments, and it allows other people to speak into them too, while they kind of figure out what they like and who they are. So, I mean, all of that kind of, and Jaden is the kind of kid that he needs something to keep him busy. So it just kind of all worked together to, for us and for him. And I mean, Jaden, he, I would say, so like football, basketball, track, and wrestling. So he actually was a sport.
Yeah. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, there's a lot going on with my connection. So man, but you mentioned fundraising, and let's get into that a little bit, because I remember when our team needed funds. You know, you being that you said, you know, you're a leader in your program when it comes to putting like fundraisings together. I remember you brought that to us as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I know Jaden used to come out, and when we do like the public supermarket, you enforced that he would be there, and
yeah,
a lot of that came from your program. You know, so we appreciate you helping us on the fundraising side of things and giving us ideas, but we got it from you because you say you run your program as well.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we do a lot as far as missions outreach and inner city outreach. So we are consistently finding ways to get sponsors and getting funding, and there's some grant writing in there, because really, I mean, to do a lot of the things that you need to get done, you need to be able to go get the money to do it. You know, unfortunately, it's not as easy as just wanting to implement a program. You have to also be able to get the funding too. And I think it also teaches a sense of responsibility. It teaches them that you don't get something for nothing, so that even though they're playing these sports, getting them involved in fundraising helps to teach them the value of being able to support your own business and your ideas, and being able to implement logistically the things and the ideas that you have. So I think that it teaches a lot of tangible skills, kind of backdoor, because on the surface, it might seem like they're just sitting at Publix and they're just raising money. But really what it's doing is it's teaching them to advocate for themselves, to be articulate. It's teaching them to understand the concept of money and what it takes to be productive and resourceful for themselves and as a team, and to do things as a team. So, you know, I mean, and then I'm just, you know, when you're creative, you're always coming up with some new idea for something. So there's also that too.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm happy to hear that from you and for our audience to hear that, because, you know, I'm usually the one speaking like you're speaking, you know, because when we're at Publix and some of the players, they may be afraid to approach someone. But once they see that, you know what, this can be easier if you're watching someone else that's been out here doing this, and you get to learn how to be outgoing. If you're not actually outgoing, you get to learn that, you know, which is a wonderful thing, because it teaches growth, that even if you're afraid to ask someone for assistance, just by watching someone and seeing the response that they get, you can kind of have the courage now to go and act. Because as you say, growing your business, even when you get older, these things help to teach, for your future endeavors. So,
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that was definitely important in our program, and I'm sure it's important in your in your program as well.
Yeah, and it is, and I think too, for some kids, it's no real secret that crime areas usually come where there's poverty, because they've got to find a way to support themselves or to get something, to do something. Where there's no opportunity, you're going to find that. And I think teaching them how to go get their money legally and articulate themselves, it teaches them how to build concepts and ideas. So I think one of the important parts of my program is being able to place the product, where you take that same kid with that same mind that their local culture teaches them that if you want it, go take it, go get it, or go sell something for it. Instead of that, you teach them to be creative, be thoughtful, be mindful, tap into your inner strength, and then go resource it. You can do that. Speak up for yourself. And so I think the more that we teach them to replace the product, to replace what they're doing with something productive, I think it just is like a snowball effect to others. Like, oh, so you wanted to go on a football trip, or you wanted something, you wanted to go out of town, and so you went and made the money legally, and here you are, you even got to buy a pair of Jordans alongside of it. It helps others to be able to say there's another way.
Yeah, definitely. I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's needed to be heard. It's lessons being learned, and you're perfectly right, with how you just explained it. And it's wonderful for people to be able to hear that there's always a better way.
Yeah.
Now, to jump into Jaden, how was it as a parent, knowing that your kid loves sports, he's an athlete, or your kids in general love sports? Is that
Your question, you got cut off. There's a little bit of a lag. You got cut off.
Yeah, he freezing there. You might want to use your phone to ask the question, Savon. Okay, yeah, because his computer's frozen. So while he's frozen, I guess I'll go ahead and ask you. So, as a mother of 3 boys, I know you said you're a boy mom, and you have a child that was involved in a lot of different sports. How was that for you and your husband in terms of managing, getting him there, and managing just the day-to-day aspects of parenting 3 children? Times manage when kids have differing hobbies, activities. What's managed?
I mean, it's hard. It's never easy. I mean, I can think of times when we had the tag team and going games, another one going to another's games. I mean, we have to make a lot work. I mean, we still have to do that now. It has not changed, and but we're committed to them being successful. We're committed to them living out their goals and their dreams. So we push that a lot. So we push them to be active. We push them to be a part of extracurricular activities. So we make it work. It takes a lot of teamwork. It takes a lot of stress. It is stressful.
It takes a village, right?
It takes a village. I mean, we've had to have parents help us. We've had to have coaches step in, because when you have a kid like Jaden, who is consistently, I mean, the one thing that has happened with Jaden, like, God really poured a lot of favor on his life. So Jaden never played a sport where he didn't excel to the top. He's not been that kid that that had to do a lot to be an athlete. You know, I was actually just sharing this story with someone of how in track, he went to, the coach needed somebody to get in the long jumps. He didn't train for it. He didn't do anything for it. They just threw him in and was like, we need points. And he jumped in and he jumped almost 19 feet. You know, just Rusty didn't even train. He's just always been gifted like that.
Wow.
That he, you know, goes into regionals and county and state. He wrestled. The first year he didn't go to state, but the second year he did. I mean, he just, he's a natural athlete. And so when you have a kid like that, all the coaches are pulling on him. And what would happen is he would overlap a lot. So he'd be coming out of, because he'd go into regionals and this and this and this. And that would mean going into the next season of something. And so now he's trying to figure out how to either do practice in the sport that's starting, plus finish whatever competition he's just come out of. So his life has always been that way. He didn't narrow it down until last year, actually. So it's interesting for us, because that ends up being that we have to, he almost needs a personal assistant. I say that all the time, like Jaden needs a whole secretary, because his life is like that. Because the other side of it is, as much as we implement these extracurricular activities, Savon can tell you, I am huge on academics, huge. So Jaden has a 3.8, and I am big on keeping that. So there's the other piece too of having to keep Jaden grounded, because Jaden went through some years in middle school where I wasn't sure he was gonna make it. I thought I might kill him myself. So it's like when he came into Savon's, I remember having some conversations with Savon, like, talk to him, because Jaden was figuring it out, and he was ready to be killed on a daily basis. So, you know, for us, it was just, we just had to do what we had to do, and that was hard, but it paid off.
Absolutely, absolutely. So 33 scholarship offers, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is incredible. How were you guys instrumental in him making his final decision?
Not as much as I would like to.
Where did you want him to go?
I wanted to go to Miami. You know,
Okay.
So that he was really there. If he wanted to make me eternally happy, he would have done that. But we really pushed them, both of us. We really pushed him making a decision.
Right.
So as much as, you know, and him and his dad would toss back and forth. He was very fortunate to be surrounded by a lot of people who spoke into it. You know, coaches and friends and family members, and his grandfather played in the NFL. So he had a lot in his ear as far as, you know, how to make a good decision.
Right.
So I would say we were instrumental, but at the end of the day, it was Jay.
Well, he probably couldn't have gone wrong either way, because they both come from very strong football traditions, you know, Michigan as well as the U.
Yeah.
You know,
You can never go wrong with the U. I don't care.
No. Turnover chain, right? Right, absolutely.
Yeah, guys, now some people keep on pausing. Well, Marv, I'm glad you're there for us. Glad you're there for us. Thank you. But yeah, that's something to be proud of. I'm sitting here smiling, because before even his senior year, you have to be proud to send accomplish 33 scholarships. Some kids come out of the freshman, and as you say, he's an athlete, and he was able to put all this together before his senior year. I mean, there's no better blueprint than that. You know, anybody that's watching, any parent out there that has an athlete, I mean, set the foundation, support them, take a page out of your and follow the blueprint, because don't reinvent the wheel if you have an athlete.
Yeah. I think to
So-
support them is probably the most important thing that you said. I think too many parents try to make their kids be things, you know. His dad did a better job of this than I did. You know, I was tough on him in my mind about things, you know, but I had that mom tough. You know, I'm a personality, but I had that mom tough. His dad was real tough, you know. But it was always a supportive tough. It was always I'm gonna be real with you tough. And I think that's really important when you're sending to a high level, being realistic about where they need to be, but supporting them in whatever it is. The kid that you think might go the farthest and the kid that you put a pop on a pedestal might be garbage. So you have to be really realistic about who your kid really is and what their talents are, and support them as much as possible.
Right. Well, you know, I always say like hard work beats talent because I run a martial arts studio. So like I'd rather have the kid that works hard than the kid that's naturally talented, because the kid that's naturally talented feels like he can skate by, but the kid that's a worker can sometimes make gains and actually become better. And Savon, you probably know, you can speak well on that, where you have kids that are naturally talented, but then you have those kids that are grinders that pick up those fundamentals, and before you know it, you know, they're starting to run circles around that kid that had natural talent that didn't want to put that effort in. But one of the things that I wanted to ask was, Jaden was with Savon for 3 years, and I know you said Jordan will probably be with him next year. What are the things that you feel have benefited the kids being in that program? What have you noticed from the kids that have come through Savon's program?
I can speak the most about two kids that I know of. One being Jaden. Another one is one of our friends. She put her son there, and her son was autistic, and that was like, for them, he got involved in Savon's Academy, and that's when they saw a major difference in his confidence, because like his dad wanted him to play football, but then he started playing basketball. And I remember when they told me that he was doing it, and then they told me who he was doing it for. And she's like, I can't even believe that this kid who won't even go outside and play is out there running up and down the court, making jump shots, and he's not even a social person. So I can't really, and there was another kid that I remember being a part of it. I can't really say for every single story, but I can say that what I remember the most about it is that the kids that came out, they came out with more than just basketball skill, because I would be there sometimes with the practices and I would hear the way that they would be imparted in. And there was a lot of fundamental impartation. There was a lot of life lessons. You know, it was like a coach/dad. So the kids that would come out of there were coming out with like this perspective, not just skills. And so that was one of the things that I really liked about it for Jaden, because I had conversations with Coach Savon about talking to Jaden because of the amount of time that I saw him putting into the kids and having conversations with them about life. And sometimes those conversations matter the most, because you might be getting all of that at home, or maybe you're not. But hearing it from somebody that you really respect, and Jaden really respected him, makes the difference sometimes in how they hear it. So I would say, to answer your question, one of the biggest things that I saw coming out of there was a perspective shift, as well as being taught the fundamentals of basketball.
Yeah, definitely appreciate that. Marv, your mic is muted if you wanted to say something.
Oh no, I'm good, man. I don't want to hijack your interview, man.
No, I mean, you asked the question, so you can go ahead, man.
No, I asked what I needed to ask. You did. Go ahead. You got it.
Nice. Well, say thank you for that, because not too great ahead in life. You know, you're always going to have your extreme athletes, but you're always going to have the kids that just wants to use the game to confidence. And he's always been open to not just the best players, but to all all people, you know, all children. We were always open to bringing anyone into the program to learn a lesson, you know, because that's why we started doing training, to where if there was a kid that was artistic and they wanted to learn, we opened the door for those kids to come in and use basketball to be able to build their confidence. And that's one thing that I love, you know, about myself and anyone that was up, is we wanted to help people beyond just seeing them turn pro. You know, it's more than just
Right.
because any job that you do in your life that you put the hard work into, you are a pro at it. You know, no matter what it is that you do, you are a professional at your profession. You know, so that's the way I looked at our program. Build professionals, no matter what.
Right.
Yes, I got a question here. So 10 years down the road from now, what would you want to see from Jaden, you know, through his sports experience?
You know, I want to see that a difference on and off the field. You know, I believe in living out your gifts and talents and your best self, but I think that there's a responsibility to that to reach back. And I think that that serving yourself and not serving people is baseless. So I would love to see from him that he uses it as a way to express his gifts and talents, but also as a platform to reach back to others to be able to do the same thing. And so in 10 years, I would love to see that if he was given all this favor and all this talent and all these gifts, that he wasn't selfish about it, that he perfected it. He was selfish about perfecting it, but that he wasn't selfish about sharing it, and that it would actually be the vehicle for serving our community. I just don't believe that our young boys have reaching beyond the 5-day or the weekend event. You know, I feel like it's harder for them to do it, but you don't have a lot of local savants who have gone to that place and are reaching back intimately or personally. They either send somebody else or they fund an event. And so I'd like to see Jaden actually using his gift as a platform.
That's great. When we interviewed Jaden, you know, I made sure he knew that, hey man, you have a great mom, you know, and a great support system, and and family, you know, with you and your husband, and some of the other family members that helped him to, you know, make a solid decision. He comes from a great family, you know.
Did he hear you when you said that? Just want to make sure he heard you.
Well, he heard me loud and clear. Let me tell you, you did a great job, because Jaden sounds just like you. He's just his voice is just lower when he's talking.
Yeah.
It's almost like I'm interviewing him again. But obviously you're the parent, but you're a little bit more experienced, but he sounds like a quiet version of you.
Mm.
You know, so let me ask. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm done, man.
So so we're underway now. I just left Florida last week. They said they were opening the city up. Is the season started? Is the season underway? Has he been playing? What's going on with this year?
They're practicing. The first game is October 16th.
October 16th. Okay.
Yeah. So they haven't gotten to the actual game season yet.
Okay. Are they starting the season the same time as like ranked? Were they ranked last year?
That I saw, like more local rankings, you know, like the Twitter type, those kind of rankings. They have them. They're always somewhere in the top 2. You know, so depending on which one, they're the first or the second. I think I saw one like a month or so ago that was like number 3. But the last ones that I saw, they were number 1.
Can you hear you, Mark?
You know?
Yeah.
I forgot. I was just wondering if you knew how many of his teammates got to D1 or D2.
Ooh, I don't know how many of them got it, but his team is loaded. So a lot of them have it. So I know that there's some in the mom chat. I see some of them are pushing for SAT scores because unfortunately, some of the kids that needed a spring season or this season, they're not going to have that luxury. So they're trying to emphasize the academic side. So I see a couple of those where they're trying to push and get some scholarships going for him. But for the most part, his team is loaded. So Coach Harriet does a really good job of putting them out there because every college comes to St. Thomas looking for talent. So, so he does a good job of pushing kids out there.
Well, I'm gonna be excited. You know, I'm here in North Carolina, but I'm gonna be excited to see what he does this year, and I'll be even more excited next year to see him on the field in Michigan. So, you know, we'll be rooting for him.
Me too. Pray that he stays healthy.
Yeah,
that's
we're gonna definitely keep that lifted up. You know, hopefully he'll get on the field as a freshman. I don't know. It might not happen, but that competition, you know, level steps up to a whole nother pace. So
yeah, I mean, so it's good to want to play as a freshman. You gotta really be a dog to play as a freshman, and at a school like Michigan, that's definitely really hard because they're loaded before you get there.
Right.
So, and especially
you're no longer
now, especially now because with this COVID, a lot of the seniors stayed back. So, you know, there's that too, that you have a lot of seniors who didn't go up because they're still trying to, they're trying to be noticed.
Yeah, they're trying to improve their draft stock.
So it's that much harder. So to play as a freshman, you gotta really be. And I'm not saying he's not. I'm Jaden's #1 fan, but like I said, it goes back to that realistic. You know, and sometimes you need to learn the system. Sometimes sitting and waiting is not a bad thing.
Oh, absolutely not. You learn. You got to learn, and I mean that's their playbook's going to be a lot more expensive than what he's accustomed to now.
Yeah.
You know, he's going to have to grow into a man's body, you know, because those guys are almost NFL ready, you know?
Yeah. It's different when you know, you're like 18. And this is like a grown man with a whole child and a wife at home.
Right.
Different. You know, it's not the same.
Right. Absolutely.
Well, to add in, I'm going to say this. I've always been a very confident person, and I actually coach my kids with the same confidence. Because like when I put Jaden in the game, it didn't matter if we were playing guys that had kids. I knew that he was going to go out there and he was going to smack him in the mouth. So he was always one of our toughest players. And for your son to accumulate 33 scholarships before his senior year, I would say he's in college already. You know, I would go out on a limb and say that. When you can accomplish things like that before you're actually out of high school, that speaks volumes. When I, as a coach, can put him up against, if he's an 8th grader, and I can put him up against a 12th grader, because we've done that. I have no problem always playing our kids up to the highest level. And he's always chopped down all the trees. So
Jaden was playing football and basketball. Jaden was playing football. He was trying to tackle people in basketball.
Yep.
He lived in foul trouble because he wanted to hit somebody. Like it was interesting to watch. He would be flying into the walls. You know,
he made the right call, man.
I mean, Jaden, he was aggressive, real aggressive. But I will say, to your point of him being an aggressive player, he was really aggressive in basketball. And
well, I think he's ready because he's always been ready. Trust me. If we were losing by 20 points in a game, and I say, Jaden, I need you to make that game tougher and cut it down. No questions asked. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But he missed a couple games for us. I'm sure you remember that. Boy, you don't play when it comes to clips. Because
No.
they didn't miss games because we had the conversation. He ain't coming today, coach.
Yeah. I think people think that I'm joking when I say that I don't play when it comes to that. And I've had to make Jaden stand in front of the team and say, you will not play today. Tell him why. You know, but he has a sense of, the one thing that it did is right now, he's so driven to do what he has to do. People are always like, oh my God, he has a high GPA. And I'm like, Jaden does not like school. He doesn't like school. He does what he has to do. Because if he doesn't, as a grown senior, his mama will sit him down.
Right. But you've instilled that in him. So now it's second nature.
Yes.
Yep, exactly.
So now he's very aware of that. I mean, people, he's calm today. He's gone. Some kids get, rowdier. Jaden has calmed down. Jaden used to be real rowdy. But I've had to drag Jaden through hallways at school. We went through a road. It was not what it is right now.
Right. Right.
And trust me, those are some of the reasons why you say, hey, Coach Savon, talk to him.
Yeah, I did. I used to bring Jaden and be like, talk to him. Because if you don't, he's going to die. Get him. But he, he figured it out and he's driven and he's focused now. But you have to be willing to be like that if you really want to see them. Because it's not realistic that they're just going to get scholarships. It's not realistic. It's not realistic that they're going to go to the league or to the NBA. That's not realistic. It can happen, but it's not realistic that they're just because they're talented that they're going to go. There's still, so many hoops you have to jump through. And at least if you academically help them to see why they need to be well-rounded, then not even for injury reasons, but you're talking about even if they do have the fortune of making it to the league or wherever, that's only a chunk of their life. That's a small chunk of their life. They need to be productive adults. They need to be productive humans. So, when you think from that perspective, you just teach them to do everything at a high level, and the chips will.
Savon, I'm dying, so I'm gonna have to bow out here in a little bit. My phone.
Well, Shay, that was well said. Well said. You've been an awesome parent. Continue to do that for your other two young men. Continue to guide Jaden. Continue to guide all of the people that you guide into your organization. And I'll continue to do the same. Before you go, what are your thoughts on me calling this organization Founding Players based off of the fact that those are the players that helped me to grow the force for Jaden?
I think Founding Players is a good name. I just think a lot of people probably do what I did. They'll have questions as to what is it, what does it mean? Is it pertaining to basketball? Is it pertaining to something else? So I think sometimes with having those kind of names, it doesn't really tell a person what it is. Okay, so and I think a lot of people will do the same thing that I did. It's like, well, can you tell me what's about? But I think it's a good name, and I think that if what it's been, which is like a mentoring type of a program, I think if that continues and that speaks to the mentoring aspect of it, then I think it'll really be a great mission.
It'll kind of explain what Founding Players is about, and what we'll do is also do a better job of explaining exactly the meaning of Founding Players. But there is some decent explanation right now, but listening to what you just said, probably need to be a little bit more clear explanation, which you'll eventually see.
Okay. Absolutely.
Definitely. Well, it's been fun interviewing you. Haven't really spoken in a while, and COVID has definitely helped me to reach back out to some, family and friends, and I consider you family. Got a lot of families that we built through Savons Academy, and now Founding Players is going to reconnect a lot of us. And thanks to COVID, even though COVID's been a tough time for everyone, it's also opened up a lot of people's minds. I know it opened mine up when it comes to even investing, more than I did in the past. So
Yeah.
things happen in life, and sometimes there are lessons learned, and we all come back greater people from some of the bad things that happen sometimes.
Yeah. Agreed. I definitely see that so much in this whole season of just entrepreneurs and people hustling.
Yeah.
We have to. So I agree with that. 100%.
Yeah, definitely. You've always been there for me. Thank you for being there. Appreciate you. We have the Founding Players parents. We're close, but I always let them know, hey, right behind you guys.
Yeah.
Safe, because I remember with the fundraising, and you know what? To be honest with you, you have opened up my mind when it comes to fundraising, because we used to talk about things.
Yeah.
I felt better about being at Publix,
Yeah.
because we spoke about things. So I felt better being out to raise funds. So thanks to you, my fundraising group, because of you sharing ideas with me.
Well, I appreciate that. And I'm glad. You have an amazing organization. So I'm glad to see it grow.
Yes, thank you. So,
And we got to
said
support Black business as much as we can.
Yes, definitely. But we said 15 to 20 minutes. It's an hour. But it was good.
Yeah, yeah. But that's what happens when family gets together.
Exactly. Definitely. You do know that Jacoby Lee, one of our Founding Players, so he's the 4J, he's now the point guard at Wake Forest University. So,
okay.
Yeah, we're also proud of that. And we got Jules Jasmine, who's at Palm Beach Atlantic University, with a possibility to go overseas to play. You never know. Could still be drafted, to the NBA. But the road that he's taken, he's a senior now, and there's a great possibility that he'll still become a player. But Jacoby's at Wake Forest University, so we're also proud of those guys. To know that of the 6 founding players, 4 of them got full scholarships to colleges, and yeah, and 2 of them, they're barking up the right tree when it comes to, owning their own business. One of them is already on pace, and, my son, Xavier Smith, he's on pace to own his own business as well, because I'm leading the way for him.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and his mom, same thing. So he's going to be okay. So all 6 founding players, I can say, I'm very proud to say 100% of them is professionals.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
They say if you help one, you're doing a good job. I would say I helped all.
Each one reach one. That's what we got to do.
Yeah.
And they're Black boys too, so that's awesome.
Yes, exactly.
Black part.
Yes, definitely. We got to keep on paving the way for these guys. The future. They are the future. I always tell people, let's worry about the ones.
Yeah.
We have to.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
All right. Well, we could sit here all day and reminisce. So, I'm gonna let you go. And we know how to find each other. So, I'm here. After this COVID situation, if I can get a chance to make it to a game when they come to play, in Florida, I will try my best to be there.
Well, they're going to be playing, so Jaden, I'm sure, will give you his schedule, but they're not going to travel out of Florida. So unless things open up, towards the end of the year. They're going to be right here.
Oh,
So they won't be leaving Florida. So, but I'm sure Jaden will give you a schedule.
but you know, I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking about Michigan.
Oh, Michigan.
I'm talking about Michigan. The high school game is a given. I'm talking about Michigan.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the high school game.
I can show up at the high school game. I'm talking about the Michigan. I'm talking about going there. St. Thomas is already like college, but
Yeah.
But I'm speaking ahead.
He's going to have an entourage at those games.
I'm sure.
It's going to be interesting.
I'm going to be right there. Like I said, I'm going to try my best. I'm going to look at the schedule when it comes out for 2021, and I'm going to see what I can make, and I'm going to do my best. Between him and Jacoby with basketball and football, hey, we're proud. We're proud.
Yeah.
To be very proud of. For me to know you, I can always use you as a parent, to show people, look, this is what you want to do if you want to back or support your church.
Yeah.
Tell people you have to have a blueprint and show them.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Don't reinvent the wheel. That's for sure. All right. Well, it's been great. I'm gonna go ahead and log out of here. But keep up what you're doing. And Jordan, when do y'all start back officially?
We're actually starting this Saturday. And my son is kind of working his way into running the program now. Until he start doing his own thing, he's helping me out. So this Saturday we're going to start back with our middle school team. What grade is
He's in 8th grade. I know that he was talking about playing at the school. So I'm gonna get with his dad and see kind of what the plan is for him and his dad, see what the plan is really gonna be. Mm-hmm. But I know that he was wanting to try out at Crestwood. So I guess I'm gonna see exactly what exactly is gonna be, then I can let you know for sure.
Yeah, okay, no problem. We'll communicate about it, but that's perfect because my son is coaching that 8th group. So that's 8th group, and I'll be there with him. So,
okay. All right.
So Saturday's 9 a.m. to 12 noon.
Okay.
All right, and I'll keep you posted.
All right, sounds good.
All right, thank you. You have yourself a great night. Tell Jaden I said hi, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
All right, you have a good night. I will.
All right, you too.
Bye.
We're not doing any research. Yeah, take it on my friend. I'll be right back.
Yo. Savon. What's up, man?
Hello.
Yo, what's going on?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, that was great. So that was, a live interview done with Jaden Hood's mom, Shay Hood, and that was amazing. As I said, it was live. We've been doing some interviews behind the scene, but we decided to play that one, live as how it was recorded live. Going forward, we will be breaking down, our interviews and, editing them and giving you guys great products to watch. But sometimes we want to put that live out there so you guys can actually see, the live version as well as the edited version. I think sometimes that's good to show as well.
No doubt. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Can't always be trying to, cover up things. Sometimes you got to put the raw thing out there so people can see, there's going to be times when we interview people live, and we used to do it live, so if you mess up, hey, it's part of it. It actually it puts you on spot too to try to do your best. So I definitely don't have a problem with doing it live,
Right.
but editing, that's cool. You get to put out a great product when you edit, but at the same time, you can also put out a great product live. You know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree.
Yep. The reason why we'll do a lot of pre-recorded is because between yourself, Marv, myself, Ed Rod, and just all of us that's involved, I'm sure we're going to be able to reach out to quite a few people that can share their financial experiences with us, and we want to be able to have enough information to pass out, so some things are going to be edited and some things are going to be live because I'm sure we're going to be getting a lot of people that's going to want to get involved, because I've been reaching out to a few people, especially I've been moving around a lot more lately. So I know that I'm going to definitely be interviewing quite a few people. So lots of information to come.
Dope. Well, yeah, man. So again, another good interview in the books. You guys, the program's doing great things, continuing to make great strides. So it's just keep it going, man. Just keep it going. So are you guys up and running now? Are you officially back up and running?
We're up and running on Saturdays for now. The program is normally 3 days a week, but we're up and running for one day right now. But we can't. It's a traveling basketball program, and of course it's developed when and off the court.
Right.
So there's a lot more in it than just playing basketball. But 3 days a week we're normally working with the kids. The rest of the days I'm normally doing, the office work and the fundraising. I'm the fundraising coordinator as well as the founder. I wear many hats in Savon's Academy. So even though the program is 3 days a week for the kids, it's 7 days a week for me. But right now I'm not doing 7 days a week. I'm not even doing one day a week. My son is doing that one day a week right now.
Wow.
It is time for me to start planning new fundraising ideas because, as you know, the COVID has changed a lot of things. So I'm going to start putting some events together. When it comes to say sports, we have contracts with stadiums to where we can go work the stadiums and make a percentage. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization, so we're going to be able to work games and be able to make a percentage of sales made, from whether it's a concert or a sports game or, whatever opportunity these stadiums or these sports teams will present to us. We kind of have a contract with them to go ahead and do that. And in addition to that, as I said, we can plan our own events. There was a comedy show that I was going to do before COVID started. I'm going to get back to that. I even thought about it lately since I've been up and about. I thought about it lately, possibly bringing it to YouTube, a comedy show to YouTube. So that's something that I just been thinking of, but I won't speak too much on it until we actually put that event in place.
Okay. Well, listen, man. If anybody's gonna do some fundraising, it's gonna be you. I know how you do.
We're getting there. We're gonna get back there soon.
Huh? I know how you do. I said, if anybody can fundraise, it's you. I know how you do.
Yeah, Marv. Let me tell you, man. If it's one thing I don't even know how that came to be, for me to be so great at that. But definitely, I really and truly believe that if my life was dependent on it, for me to be having $1 billion by tomorrow, I believe I would actually get it. That's just amazing. I guess you gotta respect the fact that people respect what you do. There's always haters, but there's more people for you than people hating on you. And I know that whenever I want to get something done, and I know that I can reach out to many people who will help. I have that, to my disposal, and I'm appreciative of that. So that's a great feeling. You know, I'm one to try and do things for myself, but I do know that if push comes to shove and I needed a billion, I can probably get it tomorrow.
Right.
That's a good feeling.
Okay. Okay.
No, but it is a good feeling. I mean, at the end of the day, for some people that may seem impossible, but we are a 501c3 nonprofit organization. Nothing is impossible when it comes to helping. There's plenty of people out there who will help. If you have a good story, a good product, they will help you. And it's all about selling yourself. It's all about what you've done. And I do keep things on the wrap, and I brush a lot of things to the side, and I may need to tell a lot more people my story, because I tell my story to people they actually support, no questions asked. So that's why I'm of the belief that if I needed $1 billion tomorrow, I would actually probably get it.
Okay. Well, good stuff, man. Well, listen, so we made it through another episode. We made it through another episode, another interview, and what's the agenda for the week?
Before we get into the agenda, I'll answer that in a minute. But before we get there, based off of what I was just talking about, for those of you out there who's actually paying attention and listening, I want to let you know that having a 501c3 or any kind of nonprofit status is very important. Um, if you do have a foundation, don't take it lightly. Don't don't believe that it's hard to get support. You have to believe in what you're doing. And if you're struggling with what you're doing, you have to go back to the drawing table and figure out what it is you should change in order for you to get the support that you actually want. So don't ever give up on your dream, because one of the best business is a nonprofit organization. Reason being, I'm of the belief that the majority of people in this world want to help, want to help. I promise you that. For those who says no when you ask for assistance, they are saying no because they're used to saying no, or they just don't want to support you, or maybe you need to have a better business plan in order to get their support. But there's a lot more people out there who's willing to support your idea if your idea makes sense, and if you can actually prove that your idea is making sense. So that's very, very important when it comes to a nonprofit. You have to believe that people is willing to help you because you believe what you set out, you're going to accomplish, and you have to make them see that.
Okay, good stuff. Good stuff.
Yep. So on the agenda, well, I've started, doing a little, something to keep me busy, and I'll be doing that for the rest of the week and the rest of the month. I'll probably be doing that as much as I can. But outside of that, on the agenda for founding players, just what I just told you guys about, putting a great plan together so we can be funded to be able to get great information out to the public, and get you guys in the direction that we all need to be going in. And that's what's on the agenda. Just information, great information to pass out to you guys. That's what's on the agenda.
Good stuff. Good stuff, man. All right.
And
So I
to
guess
say this, I'll say this one thing. You don't have to be perfect on everything that you're doing right away in the beginning. It's about growth. So we all make mistakes. We all gonna fall down. We all gotta get up. So our channel, which is financial literacy, we are not at the point yet where we pushing that information out to you guys. You're not getting that yet, but you will in due time. You know, COVID has caused a lot of problems. So at the end of the day, I'm getting myself back. We're all getting back on track, and you're gonna get that information that you well deserve. And I promise you, you will.
Well, cool. Well, on that note, man, I guess we'll check you on the next time, right? Because I'm gonna get ready to roll out.
Mm-hmm. Omar, thank you, man. Appreciate you. We've been friends for years, man. Appreciate that. And hey, you can't buy this kind of friendship,
I'm here to support you any way I can.
and vice versa.
Absolutely. All right, bro.
Yes, sir. Peace out. Bye, YouTube.